Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Magnum Martel, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And I apologize I didn't upload for a couple of days. I was actually out of town. A buddy of mine's getting married here in like a month, and I am a part of the wedding. So, of course, I had to go out of town for his bachelor party. I'm actually a little disappointed because I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, which was get him a stripper. I was told no, and I was overruled by the majority of the party. But that's not important. I'm back now, and today we're going to talk about Raid Shadow Legends. And no, they're not sponsoring this video. I probably wouldn't accept a sponsorship from them anyway. No, today we're going to be talking a little bit about how Raid Shadow Legends appears to have stolen the concept for a character from a fan submission that was for a contest they ran back at the beginning of this year. And before we go any further, I just want to say that if you haven't, you should go check out Upper Echelon Gaming's video on the subject. I will leave a link down in the description box below. If you like highly detailed, analytical, research-filled videos, he's your guy. I thoroughly enjoy his content. His videos what prompted me to make this video, because we all have to accept the fact that Raid Shadow Legends is just advertising fodder garbage. It's truly a terrible game. I have seen the gameplay. I have not played it myself, but I have to be honest about it. It is absolutely terrible. He's done a couple of videos on the subject, and this one in particular is highly of interest to me, personally, because I know what it's like to have your idea stolen because you submitted it. So again, if you want the full story, go check out his video because he's much more in-depth than I am. I'm just going to give you the Cliff's Notes. Now, I am going to use a few tiny tidbits from his video just in my explanation, so let's get right into it. Our story begins all the way back in December of 2020, moving into January of this year, 2021, where, over on Facebook, Raid Shadow Legends, on its official page, posted about a fan contest, where users and players can submit their ideas for new champions, which would be the playable characters in the game if you're not familiar. And the winner will receive a bunch of in-game rewards. Sounds pretty nice, right? Something for the fan base to submit and maybe get their character into the game. Well, according to all evidence here, it looks like the Plarium Games, the people who made Raid Shadow Legends, appear to have stolen one of the designs. Now, it's worth noting that at the very bottom of this post that they made, there is a little piece of important information. It reads as follows. By taking part in this contest, you agree that any data, text, information, files, graphics, photographs, along with their selection and arrangement, uploaded, posted, emailed, transmitted, or otherwise made available through the contest are subject, whether be in whole or in part, to unlimited commercial or non-commercial and or promotional use by Plarium Games as per Article 13 of the Terms of Use. Legal speak, what that means is that they, because you submitted it, are allowed to use it in any way they see fit. Now, I don't know if that's legally binding. I don't know if that has to do with their terms of use. I don't know if you can sue them if they use your stuff. All I know is that that basically means they can use it according to them, legally. Now, that's very important there in particular because that basically does outright give them the right to take anything from that contest and use it and not, compensate anyone. Now, onto the concept itself. The concept was for what appears to be a lizard man with wings, a large, pointed-tipped spear, who has a certain type of sacrificial and or tribal abilities. This submission, as seen in this image here, was apparently so in-depth that it came with actual abilities, actual stats, actual, kit, lore. It had a backstory, everything. Clearly, this person who submitted this particular image was very interested in the game and very proud of what they had created. They put a lot of work into it. Now, I gotta say, you know what? Props to them. We've all been there where we've thought of something super in-depth and we've wanted it put in the game. So I don't blame them for submitting it if they put all that time in to literally create his entire backstory, lore, and a fucking functional working kit base of ideas. It sounds to me like the artist in question quite literally created everything that they would need to make this an official character for them, rather than just submitting the design. Now, early in January, the contest was officially over, and 3 submissions were chosen where the community itself voted on which one would win and be placed into the game. The winner was some kind of knight. It was not our lizard man here in question. But then we move on to recently. Now, a little bit later, back in the middle of January, there was a fan voting submission contest, where a bunch of the ones that were submitted that the team actually liked were chosen for the fans to vote on who else might be added into the game. And guess who was among them? None other than our lizard man, aptly named Kazal Khan. Now, why is this important? Well, because they only chose a handful of the submissions for this secondary voting contest. And what that means, given that our lizard man was among those chosen, that means it was seen by someone, it was liked by someone, it was enjoyed enough by the developers of the game for them to put it into the second contest, and for it to almost win the first contest. That's big. Now we fast forward to today. Here, early in the month of May, a Discord post was made for a new community event with a champion as a reward. A legendary, the highest level available champion, would be made as the reward for this event that was posted to Discord coming in with the newest patch. And it looks none other than our missing lizard man, albeit aptly named Ramontu Drakesblood. So they changed his name, but apparently kept everything else about him. Make no mistake, this isn't a character that is randomly thrown together by the algorithm in the pool of many, many, many that are. This character is directly a reward for completing a series of difficult challenges and tasks within the game itself. You have to actually do something and try to succeed to get this character. And it looks exactly like our lizard man. It is an almost one-to-one match. Now at this time, as far as I and a few others have been able to find, no one has actually been able to complete these current difficult challenges. Which means he's an extremely sought-after character that quite literally fucking nobody has. That makes him incredibly valuable. Now here comes the portion of the video where I'm going to turn it over to Upper Echelon a couple of times because he has some of the information that is just far better presented than I could. So let's take a listen.
Transaction spending. Now, that would be fine if Ramontu Drakesblood wasn't effectively a carbon copy of Kazal Khan, and to underline exactly how similar these two champions actually are, we can look at a number of different features. 1. Bipedal lizard man with wings. This is not an archetype that existed in Raid before that point as far as I can tell. 2. Frilled neckline surrounding raptor features. 3. Dagger-tipped spear as a weapon. 4. Tail and spike pattern, completely. 5. Wing design with prominent mid-level spikes. And 6. A loincloth portion of the armor. These two designs are undeniably extremely similar, and taking notice of this fact, the artist behind the submission decided to reach out to the Plarium moderators on Discord. What followed was an extended exchange where the lead moderator in the community, acknowledging that the designs were, and I quote here, pretty damn close, I'll message the community managers, pushed his inquiry up the chain, which then resulted in a claim by said community managers that they would contact the artist for a conversation. That never actually happened. Instead, after days of zero communication, the artist reached out again via the same email that he had used for the design submission in the first place, and managed to receive a response. Here's what it said. Hi, we are out of the office till Tuesday due to national holidays, but I'll try to give you as much details as I have. The Ramontu concept was created and approved on January 2019, a year before the Community Champion contest was announced. Since our production pipeline for new features and champions requires a lot of time, some of the new content is released in the game with a delay. Dragon-ish Ramontu was on a bench waiting for their balance. We won't use your concept without letting you know, agreeing on the terms and conditions. That's a huge legal and reputation damage company would, this is almost gibberish, the grammar's really horrible. That's a huge legal and reputation damage company would take after acting with violating intellectual property rights. Certainly I'll double check dates of Ramontu's creation once our art department will be back in the office. Let me come back to you with more information early next week. Stay safe and have a lovely weekend. That was a perfectly adequate response, but also contained some very key details. 1. We won't use your concept without letting you know, agreeing on the terms of service. 2. Huge reputation damage to the company for violating intellectual property rights, as per their own words. And 3. The concept was created in January of 2019, and also, as per that email, there was a follow-up which contained more information. Quote, Hi, I double-checked the information. The very first draft concept was made on 4th of January 2019. There were 6 types of coloring, but we decided to move on with a blue option, and the final concept was approved on the 10th of May 2019. The 3D model of the character was created later on the 13th of September. From the very beginning, Ramontu was a powerful dragonish champion. Please let me know if you need any additional information from my side, or if you'd like to set up a call. The follow-up doubled down on this being a concept from January 2019. It also sort of fixated on the coloring, and additionally extended a formal offer to have a call if he would like additional information. And that is an offer he decided to accept, stating quite plainly, "Hi, yes, I think we should set up a call. What times could work for you? I'm CET Stockholm." This email actually went unanswered, and when he followed up again after that, Plarium finally responded by saying, quote, "Hi, could you please write down questions that you have or let me know what other information you would like to get for me just to know how to make our communication more insightful and useful," end quote. Since the artist was only doing this to understand further what had happened, or perhaps not happened, and how everything had ended up this way, he did not have a list of specific questions at that time, merely wanted to understand in a more long-form, open-ended forum what the process and timeline had actually looked like. But upon stating that to them, in email form, he was completely ignored. He sent a follow-up after that again, but ultimately...
Okay, so to catch you up, basically what we have here is we have that the guy who created the lizard man, Kazal Khan, said to himself, you know, that design looks pretty similar to the one I submitted. A design that was submitted in the contest. A design that the team definitely saw and reached out to them. The team proceeded to respond at first, and then went completely silent after offering to actually speak to him on what I can only assume was a Discord or a conference call, and had nothing else to say. But it doesn't stop there. No. The story does not end there. I'm going to turn it over to Upper Echelon one last time for one more little comparison that tells us, undeniably, that Platium Games definitely stole the design.
But when analyzing the situation, there is a layer that we haven't yet touched on. Kazal Khan, the original artistic concept for the competition, was a support/attack champion, and Ramontu Drakesblood, Darksblood, whatever, is exclusively attack-based. The ability kit for these champions, however, well, let me just read some things off here. Kazal Khan, in his ability kit submission, has his best ability listed as a strong flying attack, where he attacks all enemies with a portion that removes buffs, then a multi-target chance to apply debuffs, right? It's 2 sections of the attack. Ramontu Drakesblood, Plarium's totally original idea from January 2019 that has multiple nearly identical visual similarities and replications when compared to Kazal Khan, has an ability called Blood Wings, which is depicted in the ability thumbnail as an attack where Ramontu is actually flying, that attacks all enemies, and also has a chance to remove buffs on his targets. That's pretty similar, but we're not done. The passive ability for Kazal Khan, again, the champion not designed by Plarium Games, is called Ceremonial Leader, and will increase the speed of the champion by a percentage for each buff on the champion when attacked. On the other side, Ramontu Drakesblood, whatever, has a passive ability called Arrogance, which is, oddly enough, a personality trait specifically outlined by the artist in the initial lore packet, where, among a couple other bonuses, whenever an enemy character places a debuff on him, he gets his speed boosted. I hope you see where I'm going with this right now. Not only is this champion extremely similar from a visual perspective, in a lot of separate ways, to a submission that was chosen as an artist's choice by the dev team, it is also similar from a mechanical perspective at the exact same time, even containing precisely similar buff types and stats, at least in terms of archetype format. The only thing removed are the support functions, while all the fundamental attack mechanics are preserved.
So not only did they proceed to produce a champion in January, so they claim, which is still after the contest, which was in December, that looks extremely similar with the exception of a few minor differences. But the version that they produced, without crediting the artist, not only has abilities that function more or less exactly the same way, but it even has the exact same passive with the same fucking name. From where Big Daddy Magnum's sitting, that seems like a blatant case of, yeah, they fucking stole it, to me. I know what it's like to have my ideas stolen, and I feel bad for this poor artist, because it's not fair to him. I wouldn't be so upset about this if it wasn't for the fact that it seems like they just decided to take it and then try to play stupid. You know, he reached out to them, and they played along, and they were like, oh yeah, we didn't steal it or anything. It's actually our design. We came up with it before the contest. We were working on it a while ago. But then they doubled down on that after he was like, I still want to talk to you about it, you know, because it seems to me like it's a little too similar. And they went completely dark, dead silent, nothing to say after that, after agreeing to speak with him further in a more personal fashion besides email. That is suspicious. It sounds to me like what happened was the person who responded to this had no idea that the design was stolen at first. He went to the team, and they told him, yeah, we fucking took it, but we pretty much have the legal right to, and check with our lawyers. He went to his lawyers, and they said, technically you don't have the legal rights to, but you also technically do. And he explained the legal jargon, and then the guy went, oh shit, I probably should have responded to this. I'm just going to offer him something that he'll probably deny, and then not respond back. Or what happened was he went to the team and they went, oh yeah, it does look like we stole it. And then just went, you know what, just fucking cut off communication. Fuck it, who cares? I feel like no one would have any reason to be mad about this. Well, not entirely, but if they had just straight up admitted, yeah, we took the design, but in the contest we set it up so that we had the legal rights to use the designs, whether you wanted us to or not, without crediting you. So it's ours, fuck you, too bad, so sad. It would still suck, but it would probably be a lot less irritating. Comparatively to they blatantly, quite obviously, stole the design and then decided to not only lie about it, but double down and then cut communication when they realized they were fucking caught. It sounds to me like this artist, in particular, who made this concept for a lizard man, played the game, enjoyed it, liked it enough that he wanted to be a part of the contest. He wanted to get some notoriety, he wanted to get his work out there, he wanted to maybe be credited and maybe attract more people to check him out. Which, you know what, I don't blame him. If I were in his shoes, I would do the exact same thing. I don't blame him one bit. And then he got screwed over. And you know what? I don't blame him for being upset. And I don't blame him for trying to do something about it. And I'm glad that he spoke to Upper Echelon about this and got him to do the video. And you know what? I'm glad he did the video. Special thanks to him for all the stuff that he has in this video, by the way. And if you haven't, I recommend checking out his full video. It's a little shorter than mine. From a legal perspective, it seems like they had every right to use everything. But from a moral perspective, it's just blatantly fucking wrong and unacceptable that they took it from him. But that's all I have to say about it. I'll be following this story, and I will keep up on it as you do, as I always do, and I will update if necessary. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, and if you've ever had an experience where your work was stolen by someone else. Special thanks to Upper Echelon Gaming for his video on the matter. I have linked it down in the description box below so that anybody who wants to check it out can check it out. I highly recommend his work. I've also linked the artist in question down in the description below, who does commissions and, according to Upper Echelon, does some high-quality work. So if you want to check him out, feel free to do so. At this point, I feel like the poor man actually deserves a fucking win. But that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.